everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, we're going to unpack a massive hidden crisis that's quietly lurking right beneath the surface of our future cities. We look up at these massive buildings, sprawling townships, and incredible skylines, but we kind of completely ignore the invisible engine keeping it all alive. We're pulling back the curtain on the hidden science of township water management, and trust me, what's happening underground is a fascinating, high-stakes balancing act. Have you noticed the growing tanker dependency lately? It literally feels like almost overnight, groundwater is depleting, and entire neighborhoods are suddenly relying on private trucks just to get through the week. The symptoms are visible everywhere, right? Okay, let's dive into this and look at what is actually going on behind the scenes. When we picture the challenges of future cities, our minds immediately go to smog, traffic jams, congested highways, but the real hidden bottleneck, it's water. The absolute biggest threat to our urban future isn't just what we see up in the air, it's actually what is missing underground. Because if the tap runs dry, the entire city just stops breathing. And that brings us to modern water management. We are way past just finding water and using it. It's now all about extreme efficiency, aggressive recycling, and circular supply planning. Imagine a township with thousands of residents. Just a single failure in this loop means a total lifestyle collapse for that entire community. As populations grow and climate change completely alters our rainfall, mastering this circular loop is literally the ultimate solution to prevent systemic failure. Section 1. The Invisible Engine. Underground Township Water Systems. So, I want you to think of a modern township not just as a collection of buildings, but as a living, breathing organism. If you follow a single drop of water through this system, its journey is pretty incredible. It enters through the primary water supply network, waits in these massive engineered storage systems, and is then precisely pumped through distribution pipelines that maintain exact pressure across hundreds of homes. Finally, it exits through a dedicated sewage network. This whole four-step cycle, it's the absolute heartbeat of the community. But feeding that heartbeat requires some serious ingenuity, especially when fresh water falls literally right on our heads and is, usually wasted. Smart townships are actually turning every single building into its own micro-reservoir. By collecting, storing, filtering, and reusing rainwater from roofs and open drainage spaces, developments can drastically reduce their reliance on outside water sources and those super expensive emergency tankers. Now here is a staggering number to consider. 99%. Most of us just assume that once water goes down the drain, it's gone forever, right? But 99% of that waste is actually just a transport mechanism carrying a tiny, tiny fraction of impurities. Rethinking that exact number brings us to the absolute magic of wastewater recycling. Through a modern sewage treatment plant, or STP, that perceived waste is completely repurposed. We are talking about massive volumes being safely recycled to flush toilets, irrigate vast landscapes, and run heavy industrial-scale cooling systems. And this brilliantly illustrates how smart townships are taking this continuous flow and using it to save millions of gallons of fresh drinking water every single day. Section 2. Digital Control, Smart Tech, and Hidden Leakages. Nowadays, water is no longer just pumped. It's digitally tracked. We're aggressively deploying smart water meters to monitor individual habits and IoT sensors to read pressure metrics in real time. The physical pipes actually have a digital brain now. Automated water distribution perfectly balances the supply, making absolutely sure that every single drop is accounted for by engineers monitoring it all on a central dashboard. But why the intense digital tracking? Well, because of hidden leaks. A single cracked pipe underground can quietly drain hundreds of thousands of liters over months before anyone even notices. It's like an invisible drain on a city's lifeblood. Finding new water sources is utterly useless if we can't stop the massive hemorrhaging happening right beneath our feet. So the crucial point is that saving water really means stopping waste in its tracks. Section 3. The Framework, Laws, Challenges, and Solutions. You see, this isn't just about good engineering. It's actually a strict legal mandate. In India, frameworks like the Environment Protection Act, the National Building Code, and the Water Act form a really tight regulatory net. They dictate everything from pollution controls to mandatory rainwater harvesting standards for new structures. Mishandling water or ignoring these blueprints isn't just wildly inefficient, it literally breaks federal law. But let's be real, the on-the-ground reality is full of friction. Developers are fighting an uphill battle against absolute source shortages in decaying legacy pipelines that just cannot handle modern pressure. Add in the staggering maintenance costs for implementing all these fancy IoT systems, And you hit the biggest hurdle of all, a general public that still vastly undervalues this critical resource. Overcoming these hurdles is going to require some deep teamwork. We need robust public-private partnerships to fund the heavy infrastructure, alongside scaled-up smart IoT technology. But crucially, the true solution is behavioral. We desperately need public awareness campaigns to shift how people use water on a daily basis, combined with installing low-flow, water-saving devices in every single home. Technology sets the stage for sure, but human action is what actually secures the future. Section 4, Real-World Proof and the Future of Water Survival. Let's move to and see how this builds into real-world proof. Because this isn't science fiction, it's actively scaling right now. Amritsar is integrating extensive STP recycling across its smart city footprint. In Noida, massive new townships are hardwiring deep rainwater harvesting and smart networks straight into their foundations. And apartment complexes in Bengaluru are pioneering localized closed-loop recycling. The blueprints are already coming to life. And the near future? It's even more fascinating. We're rapidly moving toward AI models that can actually predict consumption spikes before they even happen. We're looking at fully automated leak detection that instantly isolates broken pipes and completely closed-loop zero-waste townships. Water is basically transforming from a cheap, basic utility into a city's most highly protected data-driven asset. When you strip away all the smart tech and the algorithms, you are left with this undeniable truth. Water is the bedrock of our future civilization. It's the invisible engine of human health, our environment, and our economy. If the underground system stops, the surface world goes right along with it. Cities stall and progress completely grinds to a halt. As the saying goes, the day humanity understands the true value of water is the day our future truly becomes secure. The next time you turn on the tap, I want you to ask yourself, what is the true cost of that running water? And are we really doing enough today to guarantee it flows tomorrow? Thanks for exploring this explainer with me. Stay curious, and I'll catch you next.